Hello everybody, and welcome back to the Awful Gaming Channel. I'm your host, Awf, and today we're back with another exciting episode of Disgaea 5, Alliance of Vengeance. We're in the second part of a running mini-series where we work our way through the DLC chapters so we can unlock all of the main characters from previous Disgaea games and other Nippon Ichi software titles. We've already unlocked a few characters that you get from the DLC shop just right out of the bat without having to complete any story levels to get them. In the last episode, we got through the first two parts of the first DLC, which is about the characters from the first Disgaea title and its direct sequel. So today's episode, we're going to jump straight back into that and try to finish the last two parts of that episode. I believe each one of the DLC episodes is either 2 or 3 levels. If they're only 3, now that I'm thinking about it, then we might try to do the rest of them all in one video a piece. Anyways, I was thinking they were four levels a piece, but now that I think about it, I think they're only 3. So whatever, no big deal. Don't bother me. We're flying in Siccly. Aren't you a servant or something? Shouldn't you stop him? Why? This is way easier. Plus, I might get an opportunity to stab the prince in the back. He's got his hands full too. He's surrounded by servants that he can't let his guard down around. That's common in the netherworlds. You're the weird one in my opinion. Betrayal is expected of demons. What are you lagging behind for? Hurry up and come over here.
Okay.
You got it, Prince. Well, if I didn't care, I wouldn't hang out with him. Welcome back, big brother. Welcome back, Laharl. What's wrong, big brother? What do you mean, what's wrong? Brother! What is it? Why do you look so mad? Could it be that we went too far? Vaughn, what did you do? Now prepare yourself. I'll teach you all a lesson. You don't have to be that mad. That goes for you too, Edna. Flan, I'm sorry, but you know I have to pay you back, right? What are you talking about? Why is this happening? Shut up, Siccly. Now you're gonna have to be punished too. I'm gonna crush you. This is the last level of the Laharl chapter. Okay, so they are 3 episodes apiece. We'll remember that in the future. So Siccly, the one referring to Laharl as Big Brother, is, as you can see in her class description, Laharls Sister. So we're going to get into some rather heavy Disgaea 1 spoilers here. Laharl actually isn't a full-blooded demon. He is a half-demon. His father, King Kerchevskoy, the original overlord of his netherworld, ended up hooking up with a human witch. So Laharl is a half-demon, half-human hybrid. His sister Siccly, as gritty as the details are, when his mother died, I believe she was still pregnant or died during birth of the second child, and it was basically like her last wish that child grow up in the Celestia, in the Disgaea's version of heaven or whatnot. So Laharl's sister, in opposition of him being a demon prince, ended up growing up as an angel raised by the Seraph of Celestia. I'm not 100% sure that's exactly the lore, but it's been a while since I played her game, the game that she appeared in. So I very well could be completely wrong about that, and it would just be prevalent to, go back and maybe give it a play for yourself to be sure. I'm sorry. Why was I involved? That's for putting me in a box and shipping me out. You hadn't been punished enough yet. Calm down. These two must have a good reason for doing that. It's not too late to hear them out. I won't calm down, no matter what their reasons were. You don't know that. You two, can you tell us why you did this? I understand. Etna, Siccly. Fine. Yeah, okay. Etna, you too? Oh, yeah, Prince.
Here I go!
Ready? What's going on? What are you trying to do? Laharl, don't you know what today is? Nope. Now stop holding back and tell me. It's your birthday, big brother. Birthday? So what? What does the day I was born have to do with any of this? Damn it, I don't get it. Hurry up and tell me. It seems in the Celestia, in the human world, they have a weird tradition of celebrating the day of people's births. And that's not it. A birthday is a day where you thank the person for being born on that day. It's very important. And so, we thought celebrating your birthday, big brother, we wanted you to be happy. I planned it out with Siccly in secret so that we could surprise you. But we didn't finish in time, and we couldn't set things up with you around, so we asked Etna to help out with that. You don't know how much trouble we went through. I had to cause a bunch of trouble to keep you out of the castle. Then those demons who were trying to pick a fight with me were... I pissed them off so that they'd pick a fight with you. Notice she didn't say paid them off, she said pissed them off. You guys...
Let's do
Here,
this!
big brother. Happy birthday. I baked you a cake with lots of sugar. Won't you try it? For me. Damn it, you didn't have to do all this. No matter what your reason was, it doesn't change the fact that you guys were disrespecting your overlord. But...
You should thank me!
it was for me, so that's not bad. I'll make an exception this time. I'll forgive you.
Big brother!
Yeah, those words just aren't coming out my mouth. Don't get too close. You're suffocating me. It doesn't seem like you mind. Shut up. Hurry up and get her away from me. Achilles is just like, dip. Thank you very much for helping us earlier. I didn't do anything to be thanked for, but next time, you should come up with a better plan. This was too extreme. Alright, thank you very much. Wait. Do you still want something from me? Of course. Did you forget the reason why I brought you here? We still need to settle things. Oh yeah, that's right. What's going on? Could it be a duel? What a heated situation. Did something happen between you guys, big brother? By the way, who is he? I was just getting to the good part. Be quiet. I would like to settle things right away, but I'm too exhausted today, so... Rejoice, I'll make you my vassal. Overlord Laharl made Kilia his vassal. Hey! As a result of being Laharl's vassal, Kilia became allies with Etna. As a result of being Laharl's vassal, Kilia became allies with Flan. And Siccly became an ally as well. What are you trying to do? I wouldn't let you just leave. You stood up against me. But if you're a vassal instead of an enemy, I don't mind forgiving you like I did these guys. Plus, if you're a vassal, then I can fight you as many times as I want. What a great honor. Do whatever pleases you. By the way, I never got your name. What is it? It's Kilia. Kilia, huh? Well, I'm the strongest overlord Laharl. You better prepare yourself, Kilia. And there we have it. I believe that completes the episode Laharl. As you can see, we go into our character roster. We now have Laharl, Etna, Flan, and Siccly. Since I broke the videos up and that went a little quicker than I expected, we can take a little bit of time to kind of just go over these new characters here. So, first of all, we have Laharl. He's class Overlord. He comes with the legendary Overlord's Sword. He has an A rank in fists, swords, and axe weapons. He's very, very melee oriented. You can see his aptitude chart. He has no stat aptitudes under 100%. Now, what aptitude is when you equip an item that affects your stats, the character's aptitude affects how much that stat actually affects. So you can see Laharl's attack aptitude is 120%. That means he actually gets 120% of whatever attack an item raises. So if he has a sword that raises his attack by 100, then when it's equipped on him, it will actually raise his attack stat by 120, because that's 120% of 100. That's why I was using 100 for that figure. Some characters, especially generic characters that don't have as much stats as main characters, will have less than 100 in some stats. Like Plenier here has 90 in attack and 80% in defense, meaning if she were to equip an armor that provided 100 points of defense, she would only get 80 points of defense because her aptitude is 80%, but her speed and hit are 140 and 150 respectively. Meaning something like a gun weapon that we equipped to her, she gets 140% of the hit stat and 150% of the speed stat. And gun weapons use both of those stats in their calculations. So, something to be aware of with all characters, all main characters, generic characters, monster characters, are their aptitudes. Like I said, you can use any kind of item on any kind of character. You could very well give a magician or a witch a sword, but their aptitudes, will make it less effective. Like this witch here has 70% aptitude in attack, so you could give her something like an axe, a physical weapon, but she would only get 70% of the actual stats out of it. So let's see, going down the list here. he has the ability Overlord's Dignity. Now, I said earlier I would go over what abilities are. Each character in each class has something called an ability. There are common abilities, which you see up there. All those stats are blank because we don't have any yet. And there are unique abilities. Every character has their own unique ability. So Laharl's is Overlord's Dignity. At the bottom of the screen, you can see the description says increases stats by 10% per defeated unit. So Laharl gains 10% stats every time he defeats a unit. So let's say he goes into battle and he has 1,000 attack and 1,000 defense. Well, for every enemy he kills, he will gain 100 points in attack and defense. So he's got a lot of potential as a long-term fighter. If you're in a stage that has many enemies and he has attacks that can potentially hit multiple enemies, if he could kill multiple enemies a turn, you could see increases to his stats like 20, 30, even 50% per turn, as long as he can cumulatively take out enemies. So very good character Laharl is here. Those are just his skills that he has. We'll see those in battle. Let's see, there's his unit info. The Overlord's Heir claims to be the strongest demon in the Netherworlds, hates voluptuous women. It shows his Overlord, which is Atrocious Prince. It says attacks on units within 5 panels. We haven't got into Overloads yet. I'll explain those in more detail later. So next down the list we have Etna. Again, a relatively good physical fighter. She has 100 in all stats. She has 110 in health, 110 in attack, 120 in defense, and 110 in hit. So she's physically strong and a little on the tanky side, which is surprising given her physical demeanor. She has an A rank in spears, guns, and axes, and anybody that knows anything about Etna knows she uses spear weapons. You can see she comes equipped with the legendary item Elder Spear. Oops. Her ability is Sadistic, which says when target is in full health, increases damage dealt by 50%. So she's somewhat of a physical sniper character. If she attacks a character that is at full health, she will do 50% more damage to that character on that attack. You know, so if a character has 99% health, she'll just do her regular damage. Whereas if the character were at full health, she would do 50% more damage than usual, meaning it's very easy for her to take out squishy enemies. You know, where, you know, like if she were to attack an enemy and she would regularly do like, you know, 80% of their health and they would just barely be left alive. Well, this ability would increase that initial strike enough to, you know, take them out in one hit. Again, with the special, she has a character special, she has a weapon special. Her unit info, Laharl's vassal, has a sharp tongue, admires King Khrushchevskoy's, is believed to treat Prinnies worse than anyone else. Her overload is chaotic, or Ordina calls a lot of Prinnies to the unit. That's an overload you're probably not going to see. I might use it once just to show you guys what it does. I'm not particularly fond of her overload though, so we won't be using it very much. Flan, the fallen angel. She has 100% in all stats but speed, which she has 90% in. She's got 120 to SP, 120 to intelligence, 130 to resistance, and 120 to hit. She comes equipped with a pure stick, and she does have an S rank in staffs, but I personally usually run her with a bow. And I think that's what we might do this round. I might leave her with a staff and just teach her some offensive spells. She does learn healing spells naturally, but she does not learn any offensive spells naturally. So we would have to acquire some spell scrolls to teach her spells if we wanted to use her as a pure mage character. So that's something you guys could comment on. Give me some input, what you want to see her run as with a bow or a staff. I'll put off using her in any real capacity until I decide which I actually want to go with. Let's see, her unique ability is Love Field. It decreases damage taken by all units. It increases damage, decreases damage taken by ally units times 1, max 20%. I'm not 100% sure what that means. It sounds like it decreases the damage taken by other ally units, maybe. Like if you get caught in crossfire, you get caught in an area attack, you know, or something like that. Maybe a character gets confused and attacks one of your own character. I'll look into that one. I'm not 100% sure what exactly that means. So you can see she's got a character skill, and she does know 2 magic spells. She knows Heal and Magic Wall, which increases resistance, which also affects, you know, decreases amount of magic damage and increases healing effectiveness. So again, she naturally learns healing spells, but you have to manually teach her any offensive spells if you want to run her as a mage. Her unit info is Angel Trainee turned Fallen Angel, loves love and superhero shows, is trying to get demons to love. Again, love freak, you know, everything, love and justice, all that, you know, Disgaea characters are generic anime tropes turned up to 12. So, you know, you take the love is justice character and just ramp it up to extreme levels, and you've got Flan. Her overload skill is Volunteer Saveur, says becomes pure Flan for 3 turns and increases stats by 30%. It is basically her Magical Girl transformation. She turns into Magical Girl Flan, where like it says, her stats increase by 30%. Something else that it doesn't tell you is that in her pure Flan form, she actually gains increased aptitude with fist weapons, and her fist weapon damage will be based on, I want to say, her magic and resistance instead of speed and attack. I'll have to look into that. But it's not worth keeping her equipped with a fist weapon just for the sake of the transformation. It still increases all of her stats by 30%, meaning if you're running her with a bow, she's still going to be doing 30% more damage. If you're running her as a mage, she's still going to be doing 30% more damage. So equipping her with a weapon she's not regularly viable with, just for the sake of, you know, a transformation that lasts 3 turns, isn't exactly optimal. So we're probably not going to do that. And last of the new characters is Siccly, Laharls Sister. Let's go down her stats. Again, 100 in everything, 110 in health, 110 defense, 120 in intelligence, 110 in resistance. Similar to Flan, but slightly lower. Again, she's basically built off the angel archetype, except for with a little bit of offensive capabilities. Her aura is Little Sister's aura, decreases damage taken from elemental attacks by 75%. Characters have, by default, elemental resistances. You see up here, there's 4 elements: fire, water, wind, and star. And she has a base in all stats of 25% resistance. Her ability gives her 75% resistances to all elemental attacks. So theoretically, 25% resistances in everything, plus 75% resistances from her ability, should make her completely immune to all elemental based damage, which is like 90% of magical skills and probably 30% of physical skills. So regardless of her stats, that actually makes her a pretty tanky character. If you know for a fact that the enemy is going to be using a lot of elemental spells, you can just send Siccly into the fray, and she's not going to be taking much of any, if any, damage from those kind of skills. The flip side of that is if the enemy were to use physical attacks, she is low on the health side and not very defensive physically, so, you know, that's the trade-off. She's got a personal skill. She has her healing. She has shield, which raises defense, as opposed to magic wall that raises resistance. And she knows ice. So Flan doesn't learn any offensive magic spells, but Siccly does. She learns the ice branch. So she'll learn ice, mega ice, giga ice. I can't remember if she learns all the way up to Peta spells or not. We'll just have to see as we level her up. Unit info: an angel girl from Celestia, all-around hard worker. She seems to have a fixation on printies. If you notice underneath, she does not have an overload. So if we go to these other characters, Laharl, Etna, and Flan do, but Siccly does not. Not all characters are created equal. Some do not have overloads. You can see Killia, the main character of the game, currently does not have an overload. Seraphina does. Little Mini-Me does not have an overload. So, Nisa does not have an overload, but Girl Laharl does. Plenair does not have an overload, but Metalia does. So, different characters. Some do, some don't. You do later eventually unlock the ability to give some characters a generic overload. There's like a list of about 5 or 6 different overloads that you can give to characters that don't have them. But that's much later down the line. We won't be doing that for some time now. So anyways, that was DLC Episode 1, which basically covers the first game and the direct sequel to the first game. We have Laharl, Etna, Flan, who are all from the first game, Siccly and Girl Laharl, who appeared in the direct sequel to the first game, which, ironically enough, Disgaea 2 is not a direct sequel to the first game. The sequel to the first game is Disgaea D2. So, a little confusing for an outsider, but if you've played the series, that you know, all the numbered games are basically self-contained stories. So Disgaea 1 is its own story. Disgaea 2 is its own story. Disgaea 3, 4, 5, and the one that we don't talk about are all their own self-contained stories. as of now, the first game is the only one that got a direct sequel. So that's just a cool little tidbit there. So for now, we're gonna heal up. Everybody's good. Everybody's full of health. Everybody's equipped. Like we said, we'll pick what we want to do with Flan, probably by the next video, and get her set up for use. So that's it. Glad you guys stuck around. Sorry I spent so much of this episode talking and not a bunch of this episode playing. Like I said, I forgot that the DLC levels were only 3 rounds, not 4. So from here on out, we'll try to get them all in one video. I don't want to make the videos too long. I want to keep them around the 20 to 30 minute range as opposed to an hour long. So again, thanks for sticking around. Hope you guys liked it. I hope you guys come back for the next video. Until then, I'll see you all later and have a good day.